You guys have already heard this one before, but we just want to remind you because dang it, if that listing sounds too good to be true, that seller's out of state, watch out. You really have to identify them. And I would get something probably notarized that they are who they say they are. Anyway, there was an agent who did some serious detective work up in Park City because he or she actually went to Brooklyn or contacted the real owner in Brooklyn, New York. Anyway, next, if you would. Just some really quick slides. This came up this week, and just want to make you aware of it and remind you of it when you're using the resolution of due diligence addendum. That's the seller repairs addendum. Would you please make sure that you check the box that we've not waived our due diligence until you have. We had someone that waived due diligence, and the next day they canceled their contract based on due diligence and lost earnest money. So be really careful on that. Next, please. And these are some quick ones, just some fun slides to see. Enterprise rankings T360. This is Swanepoel's group. If you will, brokerages or enterprise rankings anywhere, which includes at the bottom here, Better Homes, C21, Coldwell Banker, and Sotheby's. All of those, they had the most volume out there. KW, this is where number 2 was actually number 1. Was second place, then Remax Home Services and Compass. Next, please. And then we'll show that KW, when it comes to actual franchises, when you put 2 and 4 together, they just barely outdid what KW did. So yeah, KW had a really good year last year, even though we were down in volume. And guess what? Everyone was down in volume as well. Next. This is nationally. Yep. These numbers are national. So you'll have these and you can find them. And just really a last quick one to let you know, you can now sell real estate in Kanab. They've gotten rid of the spreadsheet. They had a Google sheet that they were using for their MLS. And now you can find their stuff. I think all 30 or 40 of their agents were sharing. It was a Google shared spreadsheet as an MLS. Is that not a nightmare? Because someone get mad and just delete everybody's listings. Yeah, that'd be fun. So they actually joined Utah Real Estate. So just thought I would bring that up. Anyway, that's all I got today. Yeah, and keep moving that one on.
I don't know why that's in there. Okay. Show me. All righty. We're going to move to our value moment. We have a special guest. He is going to get. Okay, everybody. We have someone special here today. This is going to be an awesome value moment. His name is Derek Clark. Do you guys know Derek Clark? Right here. Do you know who Derek Clark is?
I do.
Okay, well, we're glad you're here. Okay, I'm going to introduce Derek Clark for our value moment today.
And just really quick, Courtney Nielsen unfortunately could not be here today, Courtney and Ben, but it was their recommendation to bring Derek in. So
awesome. Okay, Derek Clark is a 22 years old, a 22-year U.S. Army veteran, warrant officer specialized in counterintelligence investigations and intelligence informant operations. Holy moly, that's pretty awesome. Through these responsibilities, he became a subject matter expert in body language assessments in high stakes, trust building, and threatening environments. Derek has taught those skills to thousands of U.S. soldiers in both the official Army counterintelligence school as well as in live environment military operations. These days, Derek founded Body Sights to teach people how to see and understand the subtle clues that often go unnoticed during human interaction. The vision is to help companies notice the concerns their clients have, but are not vocalizing because they are either too uncomfortable to bring it up or just don't know how to articulate them. Derek is married to an Ecuadorian treasure and has 3 amazing kids, 20, 15, and 9, and lives in Spanish Fork. He doesn't know much about long walks on the beach, but a karaoke machine and a lit up fire pit make him salivate like a Pavlovian dog. Okay, Pavlovian. I like it. I like it. He is always looking to create new connections, so feel free to talk to him. He won't bite unless provoked and only growls at the mean ones. Well, I'm super nice, so. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Derek Clark. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you for the introduction. Thanks for letting me be here. I really appreciate this opportunity to come talk to you guys. Okay, is this on? Is it? Yeah, you can. All right. Move it up. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. All right. So basically, I'm Derek Clark. It says body language alchemist. That's because I like to help you transform your body language skills, and that's reading them in other people, but also understanding what messages you're sending to other people. As a counterintelligence agent, like a lot of times it was my job to specifically go and build trust really fast with people who didn't have
Excuse
reason to
us,
trust me.
sorry, can we talk from, we can't see you on Zoom, so
Do I need to-
can you
do I need to be
reposition
somewhere?
yourself since this is a something to view?
Where do I need to stand? Because I move around a lot.
Yeah, that's better, and even a little bit more in that direction. Perfect.
I see the camera now.
Thank
We're
you.
good?
Yep,
This is where I need. All right, but I'm going to get rid of this, if that's okay. This is a barrier. That's something that you don't necessarily want with your clients if you're looking to build trust. You want to have a like an open environment. So, but my job specifically, and I taught this at the official Army schoolhouse for several years, was to train like body language and investigations, and train like things that you do with your body to build trust. And so I'll show you some of those things real quick. We in the time that we have, basically to do that, to build before you can start building trust. There's one very important thing that you need to understand, and that is where that one. There we go. Okay, that you need to understand. You can look at it. If you're going to do this very quickly, then you can look at it in terms like binary terms. So people are either uncomfortable or they're comfortable. They either feel threatened by something, or they don't feel threatened by something. They feel safe. Okay, if you think about it like that, then it's easier to just to quickly analog what someone is doing, what someone is feeling. And so now quickly, I just wonder, is there anyone that would like to volunteer and say that they think they're a predator? No, nobody? We got a couple. That's good, because I don't have to ask the group to point you out. And so most people, you guys are the good guys, right? You're helping people get into their homes. You're helping people to sell their homes. You're doing a good thing. But there's a lot of different ways where people might feel threatened by something, by a circumstance, by they have plans, and any change to their plans might be a threat to them. Any movement away from their status quo makes them feel uncomfortable. So that threat to them, and people will display threats to themselves in a certain way. And for you to understand, before you can build trust, you need to understand when they feel uncomfortable. And so to do that, I want you guys to take heed of the body language indicators that you will see. And by heed, this one. There you go. Okay. By heed, I want you to use it as an acronym, and it means hide, it means escape or evade, and it means defend. And so when people are stressed, when people feel threatened, then the stress builds up in their body, and eventually has to go somewhere. It has to leave. And it does it, and I usually categorize it into these. If I can easily categorize it and put it into something, that I know what they're thinking, and it helps me understand better what people are thinking. So an example of hide is so an example that you may see as you come back to like you guys are the experts, and you know the market values of the house that they're trying to sell. So you've done all your research, and you know what you've got, and you tell your client, I think we can sell this for $625, and then you see this. Okay. Now subconsciously, you all know that that's not a good sign. But let me tell you what it means as far as hide goes. It is like I've just had a thought, a disagreement, like a threat to my plan of selling my house for $700. But I don't want to vocalize it. I'm uncomfortable vocalizing it because it's not socially acceptable to say that I disagree about something. So when I purse my lips together, I'm repressing the things that I'm hiding, the thoughts that are in my head. Okay, escape or evade. This happens when like attention was a spark movement by an invasion of space. He feels threatened, or not by me, by this thing is going to fall on his head now. Right? But leaning back. So an example for you is like you get your price, like these people are willing to pay this much for the house, and they lean back slightly, or they shift in their seat slightly. They're trying to escape that situation. Okay, and then defend. You will see often maybe people will there's their neck between the eyes to the genitals. These are all like sensitive and vulnerable areas. So as people cover those areas that are sensitive to them, they're defending themselves. They're trying to protect themselves from some type of a threat, whatever that threat may be. So those are, if you are looking for those things, and there's thousands and thousands of things that people could do that show that they're uncomfortable. If you quickly categorize them, do I see someone hiding something? Do I see someone escaping from the situation, or do I see someone defending themselves? Then that's an easy way for you to understand that they're uncomfortable about something. So when you see a heat indicator, well, I'm going backwards now. Try this way. There we go. When you see a heat indicator, that's an opportunity for you to build trust. That's an opportunity for you to ask follow-up questions and to get in, make a connection with someone. Okay, you know that they're feeling uncomfortable. If you make them help them to feel comfortable by even if it's just giving them the opportunity to express their doubts, their concerns, maybe a slight touch that just helps them to calm down and feel that connection to you. That will help them to remove the threat. That will help you guys to remove the threat together. And you, as the person removing the threat, builds trust. Okay, so I'm going to show you we're going to talk about four simple things, simple tools like spy tricks, if you will, that you can use in order to outside of giving them opportunities to talk about the things that they're threatened by, things that you can do that show that you're more trustable, that you can build rapport on. And the first thing I want to think about what is that you're doing with your hands whenever you're talking to people. A long time ago, and even currently, people will carry weapons in their hands. So subconsciously, if they don't see the hands, then there's always a concern about what's going on. What are you hiding? What's being hidden? So people will subconsciously distrust you when they can't see your hands. Which is why, since I started, I've had my hands out. I show you my palms. When you show people your palms, you're saying, look, I don't have a weapon. I have no, you have no reason. Not only do I have no weapon, but holding my hands out here like this exposes that vulnerable area on my body. I'm telling you, I don't think that you're a threat to me, so I can expose my vulnerabilities. When you show your vulnerabilities to people, then they feel like they don't have a reason to be threatened by you. So it builds trust. Show your palms. Also maybe like a slight touch. I'm gonna come at you a little bit slower this time, but a slight touch. Very, very slight touch. No, lingering your hand on someone's shoulder or hand or whatever, it will make you the creepy person. But a slight touch to reassure someone. waitresses, waiters, they did a study where they asked waitress and waiters to study or to touch someone just briefly, like just slight touch, just like what I did. And in that study, the people who did that slight touch increased their tips by like 40%, I think, by making that connection with their hand, just like that physical connection, not in a creepy way, but a safe place to touch, shoulder or hand, and very, very slight. Okay. Anyone want to venture a guess at what the most honest part of the body is? Face? What else? Hands? Eyes? Eyes, the window of the soul. The feet. Who said feet? Why do you say feet? There you go. All right, but let me explain why then the feet are the most honest part of the body. Anybody ever tell your kids, don't smirk like that? Don't smirk at me like that. Wipe that smile off your face, or don't roll your eyes. Okay, we have adapted and we've learned to lie with our face. We've learned to lie with our torso because I'm facing over here, but my feet are facing the door over there. Even though I'm talking to you like this, I'm just being polite. But my mind is saying, I want to get to the door. I want out. I want to escape. Escape the situation. Okay. Can you come up here for a second? One other thing that so wherever your feet are pointing, that's the like the direction that you intend to go. If you want to come over here just real quick. So watch the feet as you see people as you're talking to someone and they're pointing towards the door. Maybe they have to be somewhere, and it may not be that you're boring them. It just may be that they really do have to go somewhere. So give them a chance to get to do what they have to do. Now, sometimes you're in an open house and you see two clients. Can you just like face me? Just square. So you see maybe a married couple and they're talking like this. At this point, so you may want to like engage them at some point during the time that you're with them, but watch their feet. Right now, their feet are saying this is a closed conversation because we're both facing each other. But if you now turn to like 45-degree angle, yeah, there you go. So now we're 45 degrees to each other. This is a very comfortable position for most people when they're talking. They don't want to be so like aggressive or engaging. This also says this area right here is open for other people to come into. So when you see people standing like this in any networking event, then you know it is safe to join that conversation. Their feet say, we're opening this to you. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, anybody know about mirroring? So someone tell me about mirroring. Shoni, I know you were talking about mirroring before. What is mirroring?
Yeah, essentially matching and mirroring is almost copying the person that you're communicating with to build rapport, build a connection. Yeah,
so people like people who are like them. So if you're doing things that, so mirroring, listen to the way that people talk, their cadence, use their cadence, use their phrases. They tell you something later on in the conversation, use that phrase again. Say it the same way that they said it. Repeat certain things, but not in a way where you're just copying. You're building empathy. Okay. There was one time I was at the mechanic shop, and there was a one lady, two people sitting together, older couple, and she was sitting kind of like this, which to me looked a little uncomfortable. But the dude sitting next to her was also sitting like this. So they were both like he was away from her. And so at first glance, someone might think, well, she's leaning into him, and he's leaning away from her. He's escaping. Okay. But that's not what was happening. So I told they were doing they were in the exact same uncomfortable position. So I told them, you guys have been together for a long time. And she said, she goes, yeah, how'd you know? I said, because you're sitting the same way. She's like, well, I sit this way because like I have problems with my hip and I can't sit any other way. Her husband was sitting that way out of empathy. And he had no idea he was doing it. That's mirroring. Because he was feeling what she felt. He was sharing what she, you know, what she was doing. So now, so there's the mirroring, which sometimes people talk about, where it's just copy. But feel. That's the point of mirroring. Okay. So one thing that you guys could do then with mirroring is, like, maybe you see them they put their body a certain way. And so then you slowly put your body in a similar way. Not exactly the same, and don't do it right after they move. Otherwise, it looks like you know, the kids when they're 5 years old, they're like, "Will you copy me? Don't copy me." Okay, they think you're making fun of them. But you slowly move into a similar position, and then when they switch positions, then you slowly move into another similar position. But don't keep doing that. If you really want to know if you've built rapport, then you move into you do two. You copy, and then you create a new position. You move. So you stay in that position for you 2 times. You 2 times you follow 2 times. 1 time, then the next time I'm in a position, and then before they switch positions, then I will change the position. And if they follow me, then we've built rapport. They feel comfortable with me because now they're mirroring me, and that's what I want. I want them to show that they feel comfortable being like me, and that's when it's the right time to ask for for the contract. That's when it's the right time, because they trust you and you know it. Okay. If you do 1, 2, and then they don't follow you, then go back 1, 2 and try it again. 1, 2, then try it again until they mirror you. And when they do, that's when you know you built your rapport. Okay. Last one that I want to talk about is anybody, because now body language is so important for you to build rapport. They need to see you. They need to see your face. So a lot of times, I would imagine that many of you do a lot of your transactions and conversations with your clients over the phone. Correct? Yes, no? Are we FaceTimers? Zoomers? Okay. My recommendation is, the more that you do a FaceTime and a Zoom with your client, and I understand that you guys you're busy. Sometimes you're on the go. You're driving. The more you do this with your client, then the more chance they have to see your positive body language. The more chance that you have to see this. Okay. And then you can address those concerns. You can be the person that takes the threat away, which builds trust. But if you're going to use your FaceTime, then make sure that this isn't you. Because what happens is that invasion of space. This is equivalent to an invasion of space. It feels like I'm actually that close to you when I stand like that. Okay, so wherever possible, get that phone out. So that one, you look like you are in a safe space, you're not threatening, and 2, you can show them your palms. You can have more gesture, which increases their trust. All right. Those are like 4 key things that I wanted to cover today, because they're basic, they're simple, that it takes just a little bit of thought to be able to easily build trust. These are things that, and as long as you're recognizing those heat indicators all the time, then you don't have to think about what every single body language indicator means. You just have to recognize that something isn't right. Let me follow up. Let me ask more questions. Let me help you eliminate the threat. Okay. In the back, I have just like this is like a little sign up sheet. If you want to like connect with me at all, put your LinkedIn or your phone number, or if you want to talk about more things, or if you want to know about any events that if I teach where they're more in depth and we talk about a lot of examples on body language, then sign up. Let me know. I have cards back there. Otherwise, thank you so much for letting me. Oh, before we get to is there any questions? Well, what questions do you have? Yeah.
Signs show that you're succeeding. They are actually.
Okay. When you see that that open posture, then that's when they're so when they go from here to they're more relaxed. They put their hands on the table. Digital flexion. So like if their hands are out or their fingers are out, then then they feel more comfortable with you. When you see them like contracting their hands and they're uncomfortable with a certain point. But mostly it's going to be that openness, that relaxed. So it's the opposite of heat, where they're like a rock. They're like relaxed and open and confident. Then they feel comfortable with you enough that you've got that trust. Thank you for that question. Is there any other questions? Yeah. That's a class for a different day. But there's usually but you'll see a lot of heat indicators in predators where they're hiding, like person standing alone, trying not to move, hiding their hands or their head or their neck, so that they're not noticed. Very defensive or very surreptitious. You'll see a lot of surreptitious in predators. Okay, thank you.
Just a little glance at the next 2 weeks. We've got for team meeting next week, we'll be doing some seller financing case studies. So we actually have agents who have been practicing in doing seller financing. So we're going to actually have them go through some live deals so that you guys can use that as a strategy, as a tool. We'll also be talking on the following week about wealth building. And for me, of course, I love that topic. And so we're going to dive into some of the nitty gritty on some of the strategies you should be using this year to grow your wealth, grow your cash flow, grow your net worth. And so that's on the 28th. So make sure that you're here at those 2 team meetings. And I just want to vouch for what Derek has shared, massively impactful. In door-to-door, I again did this for 7 years, and you can see a massive difference between the individuals who focused on the skill set of body language and building rapport compared to those who did not. So I highly encourage you to recognize the difference that can make in your real estate business as you focus on developing that human connection. On the impact pyramid that we've showed quite a bit of times, what's number one? What builds the most rapport? Which kind of activities? Face-to-face. There's a reason for that, okay? Body language allows you to be able to sync up and build rapport, and it really is about the human connection. So thank you, Derek. We appreciate you for coming, okay? Have lunch, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.